The Hemp Wizard. The Hemp Wizard signature series artists are Walking Corpse Syndrome, So High, Black Sasquatch, Fester, You can give your beard the magic touch by going to hempwizard.net today and rock out with your. Just kidding.
Get ready! Get ready! Get ready!
Whoa, I don't think you can see me very good. That's my cue to start the show, but I gotta tell you, I don't think you guys can see me very well. Interesting. I guess as it gets dark, it'll get better. Not much I can do about it now. Again, welcome to the Hard Rocket Sports Show live from High Top Hard Rocket Sports Studios in beautiful scenic Monroe, New Jersey. We are your 3-hour weekly get-together. We bring you all the biggest news from around the world of hard rock, heavy metal, and, of course, the wide world of sports. And, guys, welcome to Thursday night, August the 10th in the year of our good Lord 2023. And welcome to the Hot Rocket Sports Show. We were off last week. I've been really busy the last 3 weeks, so we had to put a pin in last week's show. We're back this week, soon to be joined by my buddy Jeff Talwinski, who is the co-host of the show, and we're in our 9th year, coming to you every Thursday night with our best mix of hard rock, heavy metal, and, of course, the wild world of sports. And, guys, it's I can smell it. Football season is close, and we thrive and we live on the premise of the football world. Hold on, I'm gonna try to turn the lights on here. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Well, that's a little better, but not much. But we'll see as the sun goes down. It'll get better for me in here. And it's a brand new studio. I'm in a brand new studio now. So we're going to work out the kinks. I did not try this out during the day. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys have had a great week or 2 weeks. It's been a while since we've been on the air. I hope to get a little more steadier now that things are done in my personal life. So I'm looking forward to broadcasting another year, another football season of the Hot Rocket Sports Show. And lots to talk about. We could talk Yankees. We could talk Mets. Disappointing for both. The Mets more disappointing because of giving up, and I understand it. They gave it a shot. I thought it was a bad philosophy. I didn't think they changed much this year, even with Verlander being added in. And I'll give Steve Cohen credit. He basically said, I screwed it up. I messed it up. We're going to fix it. Don't count on much for next year. Now, I think that's a little bit of, let me lower the temperature down a little bit. I don't believe that the Mets are going to dial it in next year. I don't think they need to. But they do need a lot of their guys who are currently on the roster to play much better. And that is the truth. You need McNeil to be better next year. You need Alonso to be better next year, who hasn't been terrible, don't get me wrong. Nimmo's been pretty good. But you need a full year of Alvarez. You need a full year of guys like Beatty and Vientos playing much better. You need help. And you have to revitalize the pitching staff and especially the bullpen. Senga's okay. Other than that, you got to fix the whole thing. So I give Steve Cohen credit. He basically pulled the plug, sold it all off, ate some money. It's what the Yankees should be doing. And he's reset the pin for 2 years. I don't think they will wait that long. I think you'll see a little bit of splash in the free agency, but I think it's more of a moderate stuff. I don't think you'll be signing $45 million players. But there's a lot to talk about there. There's a lot to talk about with the Yankees. I don't think we'll do too much tonight. And guys, remember, and while Jeff's out, I'll tell you guys, so starting Sunday morning, my buddy and Jeff and I, a good friend, Mr. Joe Gansas, and I will be doing a baseball show every Sunday morning from 8 to 9, 9:30, right here. We decided to put that together. First couple weeks will be a little sketchy. I got to reach out to Joe. With my son getting married next weekend, I will not be around. We will have a Hard Rocket Sports Show on Thursday, but I will not be what we're calling the Diamond Talk Show next Thursday night. So do me a favor and pay attention. There'll be a lot to talk about during the week. We'll concentrate strictly on baseball. We have guests. In fact, this Sunday we'll have Tommy John joining Joe and I. So make sure you tune in this Sunday morning, 8 a.m. for Diamond Talk right here. I'll be sending out some messages on that tomorrow. But in the meantime, we got a lot of Yankees. We'll talk a lot of football. We'll talk a lot of we got some music stuff to get to. So we'll wait for Jeff to pop up and all of that. But in the meantime, we'll get the show started, and I'll get my dad on in a second. But I hope you guys have had a great week, and we'll lots to talk about. Again, a full slate of football this weekend. We got games Friday night, we got games Saturday, we got games Sunday. We're a month away from the Giants and Cowboys on Sunday night. I believe the Jets are opening up on a Monday night this year in Buffalo or with Buffalo. So it's going to be, listen, I said it when we did the training camp show. It's expectations for both teams. Maybe higher expectations for the Jets than the Giants, but both teams have expectations. I mean, the Jets, while not a great season last year, obviously made the big splash. They brought in Aaron Rodgers, and the temperature is, hey, we're going to win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, or at least make a real run at one. So there's huge expectations for the Jets this year. I mean, you listen to sports radio, it's 10, 11, 12 wins, which I think is lofty goals. I think if you're the Jets, what you're hoping for is a real successful season, 11 wins, 10 wins, a playoff berth, win a playoff game, and set this thing up for 2 years from now. The problem is Rodgers isn't getting younger, and we've seen how that works. We saw what happened to Peyton Manning. We saw what happened to Eli. We saw what happened to Drew Brees. To a lesser extent, Tom Brady. There is a window for these guys. So, Rodgers hasn't looked like Rodgers the last couple of years, and especially last year. So we could chalk that up to not having great talent around him. But I would say offensively, the Green Bay Packers may have been better last year than what the Jets are this year because their offensive line was better. And he wasn't better. Now, the Jets overall have a much better team. Defensively, the Jets potentially are a top 5 defense, maybe better. So I would tell you, if you're looking for Rodgers to carry this team, it's going to be early this year. It may be all year this year. To expect him to be Rodgers again next year or turn back the clock, I don't see it. I definitely don't see that happening. So, but listen, it's optimism, it's expectations, it's August, and everybody's got dreams. So I fully expect the Jets to be competitive. I expect the Jets to be playoff bound, but there's still a big. I mean, if you read the papers, you watch the highlights, the offensive line is still not settled. Becton has not been Becton yet, and again, what is Becton? I don't know. Dwayne Brown's another year older. You still got Billy Turner. You got Max Mitchell. There's nobody there that's turning this loose now. Maybe, what's his name? I'm trying to think of it. Joe Douglas will come out and find a veteran who's going to be released or gets released. But right tackles and left tackles don't grow on trees in the NFL, folks. And if they're out there, and there's a few that are, there's a reason why. So again, optimism and expectations if you're the New York Jets and their fandom, and for the Giants. I see you, Jeff. I'll get you right on. The Giants right now, expectations. You maybe a little surprise last year. A playoff win, beating the number 1 team in the league by standings only. I don't think they were obviously the best team at all, but there is some expectation and a leap. The Giants cannot go backwards. You cannot win 8 games and miss the playoffs this year. You got to make the playoffs and see what happens. I mean, this is still a team that's work in progress. The offensive line should be better. Okay, the secondary should be better. There's still a lot of questions at wide receiver. I mean, they got a ton of guys who play inside, not a lot of guys who play outside. They're still got to stay healthy. All right. There's still questions at linebacker. I know they picked up the kid from the Colts. He's a tackling machine, but so is Blake Martinez, and that didn't work out great. So Barkley's got to stay healthy. Jones has got to stay healthy. I expect this Giant team to be in the mix. I want to see both teams in December shots at not only the playoffs, but the division. I think both teams should be there. I don't think there's anybody in the AFC East or the NFC East who's going to run away with it. And if the truth holds like it has the last few years, teams that lose the Super Bowl usually drop off tremendously. Now, I don't know that Philly will. I think Philly's still a good team, but they lost both coordinators. They lost Miles Sanders. And I got to be honest, I'm still not a believer in Jalen Hurts. So lots to talk about tonight. We'll get to all of it. We'll have some fun. I want to talk about Foreigner. I'm going to talk about Iron Maiden. We'll talk about Metallica playing and Overkill playing in the parking lot. I don't understand that. We get all of it coming up right here on the Hard Rocket Sports Show. Thanks for tuning in. And let's get the show kicked off right now that Jeff's available. And then we'll get my dad right on. So he is my best bud and the guy who I know for 40 years and is the sexiest man outside the screen. He is, of course, Sauce Man himself from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? Everything okay?
Well, I'm hoping.
What's up there, Adam Hines? Welcome aboard. Adam, do me a favor. I got some swag. I got some Hard Rocket Sport T-shirts, guitar picks. Send me your address in the DM, and I will mail you out a T-shirt. Please.
If you get his address tonight, let me know.
Okay.
We'll find a pizzeria by his house. We'll start sending some shit there.
There you go. There he is. Frankie Katz jumping in. Philip Panzarino. Hey, Phil. I got everybody popping in tonight. Jeff, we got a lot to talk about. Football is kicked off, and you know how we get around here. Everything else is just kind of fodder until we get to football season.
There's a couple things I want to say right off my chest, right off the bat. Okay.
Go ahead.
One, NFC East this year is going to be Philly, Dallas, Skins, Giants.
Wow,
okay?
Look at this. Throwing down the gauntlet. Go ahead.
I'm not done yet.
Oh,
AFC
sorry.
AFC West. You listening, Frank? AFC West is going to be Kansas City, then the Raiders, then the Chargers, then the Bengals, the Lions, the Cardinals, and then the Broncos. That's how bad they're going to be this year.
Frankie, I'm telling you.
No. He had that coming. Why
Frankie, it's optimism and there's expectations, and there's a lot of that running around in the New York area. And quite frankly, Frankie's team's got a lot of optimism. I mean, everybody's expecting a rebound for Russell Wilson. Now that Sean Payton, the quarterback guru, the offensive genius, is in town. We touched on it briefly, but the Sean Payton put himself in a bit of a spot by knocking the Jets. They play in Week 5. And not for nothing, this week your coach kind of put it on the Hard Knocks thing, talking about was it do your job, kind of bashing the Patriot mantra that's made Bill Belichick a legend. Do you like your coach now? It didn't work out with Rex. Do you like that your coach is kind of kicking the old dog, Jeff?
One, until Bill Belichick is gone, he's done so much. He could probably have losing seasons between now and the time he's retired, and nobody would even notice. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Second of all, I do not like Hard Knocks.
I agree.
I do not like my team, the Jets, on Hard Knocks. I wish that they weren't doing it. Second of all, get into playoffs before you start talking shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure. No, I would agree with you.
Because right now, the other day, they had a practice
Mm-hmm.
and they had problems with Rodgers.
Yes.
He wasn't feeling comfortable and it was a practice. So now, this guy hasn't even played a real snap yet, whether preseason, anything, and he's having an issue. Not good. So my statement to Mr. Salah would be this: be quiet and coach. Okay, you got your team. Is the Jets O-line so bad when you address everything else on the team, Frank, and you don't do much to the O-line, I think that, yeah, it is. You got one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL today in Aaron Rodgers. Maybe not what he once was, but definitely a top 10 talent in the NFL.
He's still probably top 5, I would say, at least on paper.
Let's call him top 10.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
I have a hard time heaping kudos on the Jets until they actually do something. You know that. I mean, what we talk about is different because that's the real shit. But when we're on here and we have to act, I can't. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
But listen, they gotta buckle down and play, and while they have a chance, they actually have a chance to be competitive. And you know, it all is. It's Frank. Without pass blocking, without run blocking, it's nothing. What are you going to do? Hope that you could hit the wide receivers when they're doing a 60-yard dash all the time? 2 seconds is not a lot of time, and some guys are lucky to get that.
Yeah, here's my problem, and again, it's a tough situation for Joe Douglas. You put all his eggs in his basket with Rodgers, but you brought him in, and the one big glaring hole that you had before it started was the offensive line, and you still have it, and there's still lots of question marks. Listen, I think they drafted a good kid at playing center. I think there's definite upgrades at the skill positions. I'm still not crazy about the tight end spot, but for nothing else, the offensive line, you're still counting on Kai Becton coming back. You're hoping that Dwayne Brown doesn't age another year that he already did. And then you got Billy Turner and Max Mitchell. I mean, that's the problem I have with this Jet team is the biggest weak link in the team did not get addressed, and it's the toughest thing to do.
I understand it's tough. And Tom, that behind you, man.
I know you got to wait till the sun goes down. There's not much I can do about it. It's first time doing it. Opening up the show.
I hear you. I'm just letting you know. I mean, I
got it.
But you're right. These positions don't just grow on trees.
Yeah.
Want to know something? If you don't get it right or they don't gel within the first couple of weeks, they can find themselves in a real bad way. And they did draft a center to their credit.
Yeah, a very good one.
Well, he's having some issues.
Well, again, they're rookies. These are rookies. I mean, that's the hard part of bringing in a rookie on a team is that look at Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas got picked before everybody else did. The first couple of years was a little rough. People were down on him, and he's now been graded a top 3 left tackle in the league. He just got signed to a long-term deal. It took 4 years for him to get there. That's the problem with the rookies, Jeff.
Yeah, listen, Tom, I could understand all of that. I really do. But here's the thing. You don't have 4 years.
You don't. Now. That's the problem.
2 years, 2 solid years, maybe, because he definitely made it sound like he's going to be here for more than a year. So let's say that you got two solid years, a third. We'll have to see what happened. We can't go 4 years. Okay. There was a lot of times this particular offseason, the Jets kind of sat back and watched a lot of stuff happen. A lot of people get snatched up off the, off the free agent wire there. And I didn't particularly like it. I would like to have seen them been a little bit more active, maybe get, a piece or two to help. Don't try to build this whole team through the draft because this team is still young. You need some veteran help here and there. That's why people go after veterans.
Yes, and there's something to be said about a good mix of that. To say, I opened the show with a little bit of Mets stuff about the Mets basically saying 24 is going to be a shit year. They'll be back at 25 basically, and I disagree. I think you bring in the vets. You don't have to go get a 40-year-old guy for $40 million. You can go get a 30-something-year-old guy for $20-something million and fit pieces in there. And I think that's the same thing for the Jets. But, Jeff, good tackles, right or left, don't grow on trees. And, most people, if you bring it up all the time and you're dead on. Nate Solder was the number 1 tackle in the free agency a few years ago, and the Giants snatched him up because he was. But there was a reason why he was out there, because he wasn't any good anymore, or he was on the cusp of being no good anymore. And That's the only guys who are out there, unless you're going to make a trade for a guy and overspend.
Listen, Nate Solder. Let's go back to that signing real quick, okay?
Yeah.
The only reason I was totally against that signing was because it was Bill Belichick that let him go.
Absolutely.
Bill Belichick seems to have a gift. He lets players go just as they're about to turn sour. Okay. And that's exactly what happened with Nate Solder.
100%.
And he played a year, and he
Yeah.
stayed off a year because of COVID. And then he came back a year. And I really don't remember what happened. I don't think he played the whole year.
No, he got hurt. He got benched. He was a lot of stuff.
He's gone.
Yep.
Whether his contract was up or they let him go, he's not there no more. Anytime if Bill Belichick got rid of Brady, without a question, I would turn around and say, no, I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't take him. I couldn't care less how old he was and what he was doing. I'd be like, no, I'm not taking him. Because if Bill Belichick lets somebody go, very, very rarely does that player continue to play at a high level.
It never happens. I would agree with you. I can't think of a player in the league who went somewhere else after Bill Belichick dumped him, and he was.
Other than Tom Brady, who went and won a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay,
He didn't let Brady go. Brady was a free agent, and Brady decided to leave.
He didn't try to keep him. There was no
right.
So, I think he knew. And I'm actually surprised that Bill Belichick is still in the league coaching. I figured that he would have by now just said, you know what, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
That team, there's questions about that team making the playoffs. Never mind getting to the Super Bowl. Every year it used to be New England for the AFC and somebody else from the NFC. And this year it certainly doesn't look like the Patriots are going to go in there from the AFC. I mean, they may be the last place team in that division. Who knows?
Yeah, I just don't think they're good enough. But I also think, again, it's I'm going to get my dad on in a second, but I think it's one of those things where they may not be terrible, but that division may just be too good. I mean, I think the Jets have easily the best defense in that division on paper. Okay. The Bills are still the Bills. Miami's the X factor. Miami can be really, really good, or they might not be good at all. Because, sometimes you bring in so many pieces, Jeff, it just doesn't have enough time to come together and form that chemistry that you need. And, of course, Tua, with his injury history, I think if he tripped over a twig, he might be out for the season.
He may be out forever. Who the hell knows? I mean, like you said, his injury history is big. Miami may be the best team in that division if
it might be
stays healthy and plays right.
Yeah, no, listen, there's a lot of talent on that team. I think it's going to be driven by their quarterback. I think it's most teams. I say that, and it ain't there. I can't think of too many teams that they lost their starting quarterback or their starting quarterback didn't play well, and they still went to the Super Bowl. Maybe I'm going to say Frankie's Broncos with Peyton. Peyton was terrible. They went to Simeon, they went to Osweiler or whoever, and they wound up winning in spite of the quarterback because the running game and the defense was so good. So that's the last team I can think of.
You got to say this much, okay? You had Peyton Manning, okay? Yep. Even though he wasn't able to play at the level that we used to was Peyton Manning, he was still better than a lot of quarterbacks in the league. Even when he was at the end of his rope there, I would still have taken him on my team.
Oh.
Because he got a little older and he was a little slower. Maybe he couldn't throw the ball 70 yards anymore. Well, he could throw it 30 or 40 yards. I would take him.
I would agree with that.
He was playing half the year in Denver.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. He was smart. He ain't going to hurt you with making a mistake.
I think that's the biggest thing. I think the big thing with a guy like Peyton was he wasn't going to do stupid things, throw the ball away, to the other team. He was going to, be a smart quarterback and get you in good position. And that's what he did. And that's why he won the Super Bowl. But that doesn't happen all the time. So everybody says, well, if so-and-so gets hurt, they're dead. Yeah. Tell me a team that's got a guy on the bench who's good enough to win your Super Bowl without the guy ahead of him. And I'll tell you, he wouldn't be on that team because everybody's looking for that guy.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, hey, guys, Hard Rocket Sports, that's Chef. I'm Tom. We're here every Thursday night. And hopefully now that my personal stuff's all done, maybe we'll be here every Thursday right through the Super Bowl because that's what we do. So stick around every Thursday night from 7 to 9, 9:30. And I got some Foreigner coming at you. I got a little bit of Metallica / Overkill coming at you. We got a lot of football talk tonight. Some baseball. We got to. I want to talk about the traitorous women's soccer team. We'll come back with that right after my dad and the fact that they lost and the outpouring of people who just couldn't be happier that an American team lost. I've never seen in my entire life, Jeff. So let's get my dad on. Huh?
Pretty sick, right?
Yeah. So let's get my pops on. He's been hanging in a bit, and let's see what he's got to say, and then we'll come right back with a little bit of women's soccer, back to football, Foreigner, and everything else. So guys, if you got something you want to talk about, kick it out there, and we'll talk about it tonight. So hang in there a second. Let's get my pops on. What's up, Pop?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's up there, Mr. Florio?
Yeah, you're talking about the soccer. From what I understand, there was supposed to be not the whole team, but a good majority of the team, very arrogant people.
Well, here's the problem. Now, Pop, the last, I don't know, maybe decade, I got into watching a lot of international soccer, but mostly it was women's soccer, the Olympics, the World Cups. I found the women's American team was much more exciting, much better than the men's. So I was a big fan up until the last couple years ago. And they have, first off, you're playing for the American country of America. You're playing for the United States, and you refuse to stand for the anthem. You refuse to put your hand over your heart and sing your national anthem because you don't like your country for whatever reason. Then don't play for it. That's the part that bothers me. And then they won, I think it was the World Cup, and they made an ass out of themselves. They acted like complete buffoons. And I said from that point on, I'll never watch, and I didn't. And I certainly won't root for them. And I couldn't have been happy. Not only did they lose, but Megan Rapinoe, who's the head moron, she missed a goal kick. And if we all know, in a goal kick situation, 90%, if not more than 90%, of those go in. So the fact that they lost, she missed a wide open net. I couldn't be happier with the situation.
I don't know what she was trying to kick at, man. She was trying to slip that in over the top.
Yeah. Well,
and it didn't work out.
No, it didn't. So, Pop, I'm with you. They are morons. And it's one of the first times I can ever say I rooted against my own country. I was hoping they would lose.
And to get back to just for what I know, the Mets, I have to give that credit to their owner.
Yep.
I give him a lot of respect. He admitted he made a mistake, and that's what he did. He went out to win this year, and he saw he didn't have a good enough team this year, and he got rid of them. He's not going to tell you he didn't. That's what happened, but that's what happened. He admitted
he went for it, and it didn't work. And he at least had the nuts to say, I blew it up. I didn't do a good job, and we're going to admit that we messed it up, and we're going to move on and try to fix it down in the future. And I thought it was a bad move from the beginning. It didn't work, but you're right. Give him credit for at least admitting to it. Sure, and starting.
And the other thing I only have one more thing. My complaint. I watched the baseball game, and I got to tell you, the umpires. I hope they bring the electronic umpire in.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with you, Dad. It's hard to argue.
What I didn't know was that when they negotiate for the umpires, they give them 2 inches, off the plate on top and the sides.
Okay,
there's 2 inches there that they're allowed to play with. Now, if that's your train of thought, that should be then if I'm running to first base and I get thrown out by 6 inches, I should get a bonus.
Yeah. I don't know, Pop. I'm with you. I'm not a big fan of the robot umpires, but as bad as it's been, it's hard to argue it. It's really hard to argue. You know what I mean, Jeff?
I've heard of them wanting to make the switch a while ago.
Yeah,
we talked about it here. I guess that's throwing all traditionalism with baseball out the window at this point in time with that.
Yeah.
But the thing that gets me, 2 inches is what your dad is saying. That's not even the width of the ball.
Yeah.
And how everybody's going to look at 2 inches differently. 2 inches is about maybe that, maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. How is your 2 inches going to different from your dad's 2 inches, from my 2 inches, if you're behind the plate?
It has to go over the plate. There is no
Exactly.
There is no rule, Jeff.
I totally agree. I
There's
totally
no
agree.
rule. It's
The only
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, the only thing that I could see changing as far as the strike zone, maybe the height of the strike zone, because if you get a guy that's 5'10" and he's up to bat, the strike zone is going to be a little bit different than the next guy who's 6'5".
If you look at that strike zone goes from the belt down to the knees. It's supposed to be up to underneath the letters. That's
Yeah. It should be the same exact strike zone for everybody.
Either you call it a strike zone or you don't call it a strike zone. He's either safe or he's out. There's no in between. Well, he was close. I understand sometimes you see a pitch and you say, well, that was a strike. Then when they show you the replay, you say, wow, no, that was a good call. It was a ball. But when you're standing there and they're calling 3-4 inches off the plate, a strike, or all the way inside, you say to yourself, yeah, how do you play ball? And that's any sport. Football, the same thing. In the beginning of the game, they call one thing. As it gets towards the end of the game, now holding's allowed. This ain't allowed. You can do the. It's all sports.
Yeah, again, sports. Listen, there is a little bit of. There should be no subjectivity. A strike zone is a strike zone, and out's an out. All of it should not be subjective. But again, you got the human error part of it, so I do get it. But I watched a lot of baseball this year, and the strike zones are horrendous, and that's the problem. And I think it's going to be time for the robot umpires, and I think you're going to see a piece of the game disappearing now.
Definitely.
My opinion.
See what happens. All right, listen. Been nice talking to you guys.
All right, Pops. I'll see you over
Enjoy
the
the
weekend.
rest of the day. Jeff, I hope the Jets do good. I'm rooting for them. I really am.
So do I.
Hopefully. All right, take care, guys.
All right,
Be good,
Pops.
Mr.
I'll
Florio.
see you over the weekend. That's my
Okay,
dad.
dog.
Checks in every week and love having his input. And let's see. Let's get Pops out. Okay, so Pops is out. Oh, sorry, Frank. I didn't see it.
Yeah, Frank's missing out on MASH now. Oh, look at that. Where'd you find out? I got that picture around somewhere in my house.
You gave me one of these. I got a bunch. I was looking for them while my dad was talking. I found a whole bunch of pictures of you, me, and the boys.
Oh, wow. That's 1985, 86.
I would say, yeah, sure.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely. What else you got there?
I can't find them. I had a whole stack of them. With the move and all, I found a whole bunch of pictures and things, and I said I gotta keep them around for the show. I found a whole bunch of Louis P. I found some pictures of Louis Pica. This might be the worst picture of me of all time. Can I show it to you?
Sure. That definitely looks like you got something smuggling. You're smuggling something.
This is me and Wayne Corbett. Another terrible picture.
Okay.
I got one. Me and Sean Bennett played for the Giants.
Okay, that is a long time ago.
Yes, this is a long time ago. I found a whole bunch of.
Like he owns a bookstore, right?
Yes. Hold on. I got a whole bunch. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see.
Actually, it would be like your aunt owned the bookstore and she's leaving it to you in the will.
This is me and Ali Haji Sheik back in 1981. Staten Island.
Okay,
Back in the
ticket, right?
Yeah, back in 1981 in the Staten Island Mall.
Okay.
Let's see what else I got. I got some other ones. Let's see. Hold on.
You look like a lesbian. That's great.
Me and Joe Kansas at in Niagara Falls.
Oh boy, you look like you're too young to be left alone up there.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta call. I got one of your boy Jerry Brusco. You want to see it?
Sure, of course.
Oh, there's My brother and your brother in Disney, 1985, 86.
Okay. What are they getting ready to do it or something?
I have no idea what they were thinking about. Let's see. I got a Jerry Brusco one. Let me find that for you. Hold on. Where's the Jerry Brusco one? Bear with me, guys. I wanted to pull it. I had the ones of me and Jeff out, and I don't know what I did with it. My brother looks like Savoir Faire.
Oh, he looks like something, all right. He looks like Fredo from The Godfather.
Yeah. Hold on. I found a Jerry Brusco picture.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Hold on a second.
Come on,
Let's see. That's not him. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of terrible pictures of me, which I am not showing. Let's see. Me and Brusco. Hold on, guys. Be patient. Be patient. I'll find them. And I got a whole bunch of me and Jeff's, and I can't find them for the life of me. This 19 right after I graduated high school, me and my mom in Florida.
Oh wow.
What's with the hat?
I don't know, but you look like real happy to be there.
Yeah. Well, that was my high school graduation present. We sit next to my mother in Florida. Not the greatest place you want to be.
Yeah, now you went and bought a house there.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to be in Florida, just not with my mother. Hold on, I gotta find the Brusco one. It's in here somewhere. Give me a second. It's coming up. I know it's coming up. I'm in the batch with it. Let's see. We're filling here, guys. Give me a minute. We're filling. A lot of my ex-brother-in-law. I don't know why there's so many pictures of my ex-brother-in-law. Let's see.
See, Adam Hines, you might have worn that kind of hat, but Tommy wasn't living that kind of lifestyle.
That's true. I look like
Jack was.
I look like I was living that lifestyle, but I wasn't living it.
Not at all. Uh-oh.
Hold on. What about no. I got a lot of those pictures. I don't put them out there. She hasn't given me any permission, nor will she. I promise you, Frankie.
So, can I tell a quick story about your sister?
Sure, go ahead.
For years, when I went in Tommy's house, when I first met him, you would come in what was his kitchen, and his sister's room was off the kitchen. And I remember his sister just sitting there with this big fucking head of hair, and she just looked like this head with hair on it. I don't think she ever moved off the bed from when I seen her.
You're probably right.
And the time she just got up and slammed the door, and that was it. Oh, holy shit. Who's that? Why are you in the middle of this? This is
that's my Uncle Frankie.
Okay.
And that's my boy. That's your boy Jerry Brusco.
Oh, wait, is that the one that I announced at your party?
No, that's Uncle Frankie. You were talking to Uncle Bob.
Uncle Bob, that's right.
Yeah, Uncle Bob, you motherfucker. Still the funniest thing of all time. Still the funniest thing ever. Yeah. I gotta find them now. Now it's bothering me. I had a whole bunch of pictures. Me, you, and Gansas. I don't know what I did with them. I don't know. I'll get it for next week's show. But anyway, so let's get back to it a little bit here. Again, Hard Rocket Sports. That's Jeff. I'm Tom. We're here every Thursday night having some fun. My man Jerry B. That's your boy. He lived in your town for a while, Frankie. He was in Jackson for a while. I believe he's in Florida now, if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
I believe he's in Florida. Yeah, him and I think Danny's the last of the Brusco clan still up here.
He's the only Brusco clan that's still up here.
Well, I mean, Ernie and Angel, they're down in Florida. That part of the Brusco clan, even though they're Quigley's.
Yeah, but I mean, his grandmother is gone. I don't know about his Uncle Nick.
Yeah, I forgot about Uncle Nick. Uncle Nick used to be a chef, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, at St. Vincent's Hospital, no less.
I don't know if they'd call him a chef there. He probably just a cafeteria help.
Yeah, possible too.
I mean, he didn't have any other. I don't remember him having any cousins.
Hang on, I think I saw the picture. Hold on, we'll get it.
So, looks like Tommy has the whole house set up already in there. I don't know about you, Fry. I haven't seen Jerry Brusco in Christ Almighty. It's got to be damn. close to 35 years, maybe more, since the last time I seen him. Long time ago. No, I don't even know how to fix the camera, man. I have no idea what's going on. If it ain't working, it ain't working. There's not much I can do.
I didn't find the ones I wanted, but I found some anyway. So that's your high school graduation.
Yes, my backyard.
Your backyard, the big jam, Joe Gansas, Jeff.
Yeah, who's the little kid in the back?
Pepe, that's the Peppies.
Oh, shit.
Paulie Pepe.
Yeah, that's Paulie Pepe sitting down. I don't know who the other kid is.
Yeah, they're one of your relatives.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Big Jeff. Was that the Fender?
No, that's an Ibanez.
Yes, and I'm playing my Ibanez Roadstar, which I bought from your brother.
Yeah, me and my brother bought those two, that bass and that guitar on the same day. I think I had the receipt for that. I still have it around someplace. I think that bass cost like $265. There's Jim Galicchio.
Yep.
The Iron Maiden shirt.
Smoking a cigarette, no less, Jim Galicchio.
Oh, look at that. That was a long time ago.
Yep. Yep. That's Jim helping me get together.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's see. Hold on. We got some others here. Hold on.
These are pictures I have somewhere in my house here.
We got to show this one. Hold on a second. This is Jeff. No beards, guys. Hold on a second. This is the old Jeff. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, you got to take a picture of that and send it to my wife.
Look at that.
Look rather gay there.
That was like, excuse me, take me in the back and do what you want to me.
It's like somebody took me in the back and did what they wanted. Speaking of taking me and doing what they wanted, I had that tooth pulled out.
Oh, how'd it go?
It's all right. It don't hurt.
Okay.
You know, a little sore from like my Tylenol wore off.
Let's see. I just showed that one.
Frank, you remember me from that long ago? You got to have met Frank somewhere along the line.
You probably. I mean, I knew Frank back then. Hold on.
Trying to get the less. Well, they put a stitch in my gum. I'm trying to get it out. I can't.
Let's see.
I do not remember meeting you anywhere. I don't know. Do you remember where we met?
I gotta show this one. Hold on a second. Let's
Uh-oh.
see. Let's see. This is Jeff in his posing mode. He's posing here. Foot on the amp, right?
I bought that amp from Paul Gill.
He probably stole it before he sold it to you.
He stole it back and sold it to me a second time.
Let's see if I got anything else in the book here. I don't think you want to see me and OJ Anderson. Oh, I got one for you. Wow, look at this one. There's a couple guys in this one we haven't seen in a long time.
Oh, no. Oh, look at this one hiding, Nikki. And John Lisa.
Seeing John Lisa behind another man is not that unusual.
Well, actually, I think that he would be more in front of the man.
That's true.
I would believe that he would be catching.
With Jim Glick, who looks much better today. Let's see. What else we got here, Jeff? Hold on. I got me and the covered up Joe Gansas.
Okay.
My Ibanez Roadstar.
Originated from my house.
Yes, this was
Like
old.
I have the rest of these someplace, or my mother has them.
I have more. I just don't know. I just was looking at them the other day. I don't know what I did with them. I will dig them out for next week's show. But I don't know. I think we do a little reminiscent. That was Jeff's high school graduation. That would be 1984.
June of 1984. Yep.
Yeah, that would be June of 1984. I was 16 years old. That was my first band, Jeff and Joe Gansas, Sacrifice. It says 83 on the thing. It couldn't have been 83. It had to be 84.
I graduated in 1984. June of 1984.
Yeah, I graduated.
I had a hard enough time making it on time. There was no way I was making it early.
So, but on Rocket Sports, Jeff and Tom, Jeff, I didn't realize Foreigner is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, I don't know a lot about Foreigner, but I would always thought that they were one of those bigger bands. And they call them, here's the other thing about Foreigner. When you look them up on Wikipedia, they're called a British American rock band. But do you know where their place of origin is?
Maybe Australia, something
New York, New York City.
Oh,
so
really?
How are they a British American rock band when they're formed in New York City?
Because some of the guys, there's like 6 guys in Foreigner,
dude,
or there was in the original Foreigner,
yeah.
And I believe half of them came from Britain and half of them came from the United States. I don't know all of the ins and outs of it, but I know the singer was an American, and I believe the guitar player was from Britain. I don't even remember their names.
Do you know how many people were in the band Foreigner?
I'm going to take a stab in the dark I'm going to say about 17.
40 people have been in Foreigner. And Frankie's correct. One of the founding members was Lou Gramm.
Yeah, he's wasn't he the guitar player, I believe, right?
I think I thought he was the singer, but you're probably more right than I am.
I thought so too, but I think the singer came from the United States. I'm not, because Frankie just wrote that he came from England.
Let's see, Foreigner band. Let's bring the Wikipedia. But I would have thought that Foreigner had a bigger career, and they were a band that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't really know though. I mean, let's see. The guitarist was Mick Jones, and the singer was Lou Gramm.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
And original King Crimson member Ian McDonald, who I don't know. So the original band, let's see if they give. So the original member, that's current members. So the original band was Mick Jones, Ian McDonald, Lou Gramm, Dennis Elliott were British. Keyboardist Al Greenwood, bassist Ed Gagliardi. That was the band to start with. They did the whole Cold as Ice, Double Vision, Hot Blooded. I mean, they had 70s was big for those guys. They were on the radio all the time.
Yeah, mid to late 70s, yeah.
I'm curious. Let's see. How many albums where former, I don't want to go through the former members. So many of them. Holy shit. Current band is Mick Jones, Jeff Pilson, Kelly Hansen, Mike Bluestein, Bruce Watson, Chris Frazier, and Luis Maldonado.
Jeff Pilson had some injury or something. He has to sit on a stool while he plays. He can't.
Yeah, and I think this is it for them. I think they're on their way out the door at this point.
I know Jeff Pilson is retiring from Foreigner. I don't know about the whole band.
Yeah, I thought this was it for them. But boy, yeah, I didn't realize they weren't. I didn't realize they weren't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I didn't know if they should be. I got to bring it up to Jeff.
They had a short window, and that by the mid '80s, they had maybe about an 8 to 10 year run. I don't think they did much past the mid '80s, and I know that they broke up for a while. And I know, like, Lou Gramm had some drug issues or something, or some problems. He had some physical problems, which he ballooned up to, like, he got really heavy, and I think it affected his singing. I think that's why he's not singing no more.
Yeah, just was curious. Like I said, one of those times where one of those bands that I've listened to a million times. I'm not a big fan. They've got 1, 2. So they came out with 4 albums right away. Foreigner was 1977, Double Vision, Head Games, and then 1981's 4 album, and then the last, I guess, real album was 1994, Mr. Moonlight, and then Can't Slow Down in 2009. But I would imagine that's not. So just thought I'd mention that. Also wanted to mention, did you know that Glenn Hughes was considered for the singer position in Van Halen before Sammy?
No, I did not.
Neither did I. Yeah, Frankie, I'm with you. I don't think the Cars should be in. We've had this argument. I think Jeff is pro Cars being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken. Were you the one that had the argument with them?
They had a pretty long string of hits in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, the Cars. They were, I mean, listen, everybody's argument is simply because of the name of the place, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which, listen, I think the whole thing is a sham,
Right.
if you ask me.
Sorry.
I think the last thing that should be called is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If they changed the name, there wouldn't be this problem.
Yeah, change his Music Hall of Fame, change it anything. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, the problem is they've given it to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it just,
Tom, you got to take over.
All right, yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right, so so I don't know what you guys think, but I don't know much, but yeah, there was a reading in Blabbermouth that I guess when Sammy was leaving and they were looking to bring in another singer before Sammy, they considered Glenn Hughes, and I love. You ever go on those websites and it says, the Tom Cruise, but when he got Top Gun, they were considering to get this guy and that guy. I love thinking about who should have got positions in movies and in bands. I think it's the coolest thing ever. I read one the other day where Fonzie's role, Henry Winkler's role as Fonzie, was supposed to go to Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees, but he was so much bigger than everybody else that they didn't give it to him, and it went to Henry Winkler because he was short as the rest of them. They're all 5'7", and so I love that stuff. I think that's the coolest things, and the fact that Glenn Hughes, who I think is a great singer, now again, I'm not a big Purple fan. Black Country Communion, it's okay. Sherinian and Joe Bonamassa, him. I think Jason Bonham's is the drummer in that band. I think he's a fantastic talent, but what if you? Yeah, Frankie, Adam, I do. I love that stuff. I love reading who could have got a movie role or who was supposed to be singer. I think about these things like who should have been. Like, I was pumped when Sammy got the job because I like Sammy Hagar solo. So I thought it was going to be. I hated Dave at the time. I don't know why I was hating Dave at the time, but I was. And I was happy he was leaving, and Sammy again. I thought it was going to be great. It turned out it wasn't great. I saw them live with Sammy, and it sucked. I mean, you should have given me my money back. But yeah, Frankie, let me tell you, I could sit in front of the TV of the computer and look up that stuff and read it all day. This one was supposed to be Indiana Jones. This one was supposed to play Top Gun. Who was supposed? James Caan was supposed to be Michael Corleone, but the last minute they made a change and they went with Pacino. I love that stuff. I can read and watch that stuff all day. So I'm with you. But the Mickey Dolenz one I had never heard. That Mickey Dolenz was the guy that they wanted to be Fonzie, and then obviously which I didn't realize Mickey Dolenz was that tall. I think he's like 6'1" or something, and the rest of the cast was so short that they thought it looked funny. And that's how Henry Winkler got it. And you think about Henry Winkler, it's iconic. I mean, that spans generations. There are certain roles, TV, movies, sports, where it's iconic. And Fonzie and Richie, for our generation, is iconic. So, I mean, listen, if we grew up and Mickey Dolenz was Fonzie, we probably wouldn't know the difference. But looking back at it, I can't imagine Mickey Dolenz playing that role as well as Henry Winkler. I also thought that Fonzie was really Italian. Who knew he was a Jewish guy? But I love that stuff. So I can't get enough of that stuff. But Glenn Hughes going to be in Van Halen would have been interesting. I thought about it a few times. Like, what do you guys think? Who would have been the right guy to replace Sammy? I'm sorry, to replace Dave. First off, he should have kept Dave. Looking back at it, they were so successful. They didn't realize how great they were. I'm curious. Was there somebody that you look back now and said that guy should have been? Gary Cherone didn't work. Obviously Sammy, they had a lot of success, but it didn't work. It was bad music. Maybe if they would have went the Sammy or stayed the same route, it would have been so much better. I don't know why they went bubblegum route. Neither band was bubblegum at that time. And then they went to the bubblegum route when they got Sammy, and I don't know why. I mean, Sammy was doing hard stuff. Van Halen was doing hard stuff. and then they got together and they started doing pop bubblegum stuff. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You all right?
I hoping. I don't know what's going on today, man.
Listen, we all have our days, Jeff. We all have our days.
I don't like this.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see what we got on TV here. Nothing. I think the industry at that time had a lot. You know what? But Adam, at that point, you're still in the midst of the new album. You know, the new wave of British heavy metal. Think about it. It's '85, and Sammy's coming in. So it wasn't like we were into grunge at that point. Metallica's hitting the scene. Megadeth's hitting the scene. Sebastian Bach. You know what? That might have been a good one. But I don't understand the theory, Jeff. Van Halen was a hard rock, borderline metal band. Sammy Hagar was playing hard rock at the time. Yet they got together and they started doing bubblegum shit.
If you remember the last album with Dave, 1984,
Yeah.
they were using
Holy
keyboards.
shit. Look at this. Tony Gunn popping in.
What's up, Tony?
I agree. We agree,
Changed
Tony.
the whole feel of the band at that point in time.
Yeah, and again, I think it was Eddie's experimentation with keyboards and all of that. But still, it went so far outside of where they were. I would have thought that bringing Sammy in would have kept them back in the lane because Sammy was playing hard stuff.
He was, but it was a different. He was, an old time rocker. He was with Montrose.
Yeah,
His stuff wasn't closely related to what Van Halen was doing. It was kind of different.
yeah. I mean, does anybody else have it? Who would have been the guy to replace Dave? And again, I wanted Dave out at the time. I was all happy. Now looking back, obviously I was dead wrong. But if Sammy was going to come out and there was a guy out there you thought could step right in and been better at it, who would be the guy? I mean, I think about the guys I was listening to back then, the Dickinsons and the Halfords. They didn't fit. They would never fit in that band. Who's the guy, Jeff? Is there a guy that we could think of now looking backwards? Because now we have the benefit of. By the way, did you notice I'm wearing?
Yeah, I see it. Nice.
This is my anti-woke costume. Every week I'm going to wear something that's anti-woke. So this week I bought a Cleveland Indians Chief Wahoo hat just to piss off the woke. So if you're out there and you want to write in, I got my Redskins hat over there. Jeff's got his Redskins helmet under the desk.
Yeah, it's I have it in the other room right over here.
Just saying. So, but yeah, guys, anybody got somebody out there you would think that would fit Van Halen at that time that could have floated? Gary Sharon should have did a better job. But even he was too bubblegum at time with Extreme.
He did a nice job of rooting his career, period, it seems.
It's funny. He got to play with two of the best guitar players you're ever going to listen to, and he's still not a household name. So, with Nuno Bettencourt is. I mean, again, nobody's Eddie, but Nuno Bettencourt can flat out play. Again, I don't know if there's a guy out there. I mean, Glenn Hughes might have been a good mix in there. You know who might have done well in that band? Would have been David Coverdale.
Nah.
I'm telling you.
Nah, because David Coverdale was too much like Robert Plant for that band, I feel.
Agreed. And again, I'm not big on Plant either. But I mean, again,
maybe Joe Lynn Turner.
That's a good one. All right. That's a good one.
Turner might have been able to
with or without the hair.
Well, he gave up on the hair not too long ago.
Yeah,
so I would have to say he would still have hair.
All right. So Joe Lynn Turner with the hair.
Jeff Tate and Queensryche were just coming out around that time that he had left, but
he wouldn't have fit that band. I don't think he would have fit.
But I'm just trying to think of who came out. Who was the guy that was singing for MSG at the time? Gary Barton, I think his name was. Maybe him. He might have been a decent Paul Rogers. I don't know. He's.
How about the guy who sang for Badlands?
Van Halen,
He died of AIDS, didn't he?
yeah, Ray Gillen.
Yeah. That would have been a good spot.
I don't know if he would have been as flamboyant as Dave.
But you didn't want that. Well, again, listen, I think Dave's one of the top 2 or 3 frontmen of all time. The guy's just a great frontman. I don't know if he had the best voice in the whole world. But what I would want to see in Van Halen at that point was somebody with a strong voice, keeping them back in the, women and children first, Van Halen 1 or 2 category. For whatever reason, I think it's maybe it was just the writing style. Maybe it was Eddie. Maybe it was Eddie and the vision he wanted to go in. Maybe they're right. Maybe I think Frankie said it. Maybe Dave wanted out because he didn't want to go that direction. I'm not really sure.
Tony Gunn would probably know what happened with Dave. Well, actually, there was some internal strife with Van Halen. Wasn't there? Eddie and Dave weren't getting along at that point in time. I don't remember.
I think there was always issues with those guys. But Glenn Hughes he was considered, but because of his substance abuse problems, and Eddie supposedly was sober at the time, Eddie didn't want to bring that into the band, so Glenn Hughes didn't get the job, which I think is interesting. But there's also those rumors back then of Eddie wanted to join Kiss, and they didn't want to bring him in because of style. I never bought into any of that.
I'm looking at pictures right now with Glenn Hughes.
Uh-huh.
It looks like he still has substance abuse problems.
Yeah, a lot of those guys did not age well.
No.
But I tell you, if you ever listen to Black Country Communion, that's a pretty good band. I'm not a huge fan, but there's some good stuff there. That's a very talented band.
Yeah, I got some of their stuff on my phone. I don't really listen to it. I had one song that I had liked. I can't remember the name of it. And I had it for a while, and then I added more, and then just never got around to listening to it.
Yeah, again, there's so many. We talk about it a million times. There's so many bands and guys just bounce from place to place that you just never want to buy into what they're up to, and what they're talking about, and what they're trying to put out there because they don't believe it. Why am I believing it? You know what I mean? It's tough. Hard Rock and Sports. That's Jeff. That's Tom. Hey, Lita Ford's got a new album coming out soon. By the way, we interviewed Jeff Pilson. I don't know if you were doing that interview with me, but we had him on the show. Yeah,
wasn't it the time when Eddie played on Beat It? Michael Jackson might have been the biggest entertainer on the planet.
Oh, sure.
How who's going to pass that up at that time?
And you know what? Also explain to me. Maybe Tony knows or Adam. Frankie knows everything, so maybe he'll know. Did Eddie play the guitar riff on that album, on that song, or was it the other guy? What's his name? Holy shit.
Stevie Stevens?
No. There's another guy. Oh, boy. Oh, shit. I can't think of his name. Right? I can see his face. I can see his name. I can't. There's another guy who was. Hold on. I'm going to Google it real quick. Give me 1 second. Beat It song. Let's see. Beat It Wikipedia. Hold on. Come on. He was in another a very famous band. Hold on. Steve Lukather. Was it Steve Lukather right and to play that, or was it Eddie?
Oh God, I never even heard that guy. I know that name. I can't remember who he's from though.
Yeah, Steve Lukather played in. Hold on. Toto was a big band. Also, he was also a Ringo Starr. But I think Steve Lukather had something to do with that. And I've read different accounts. Frankie Eddie arranged the song and played it the lead for free. He put half hour into it. Toto, you're 100% right. To me, one of my favorite solos of all time. But I've read a few times that Lukather actually recorded it, but I don't think that's true. I think Eddie actually did, and actually I know Eddie played it one time live with them. I've seen the video of it. So
Anything is possible.
yeah. Just want to let's see. Eddie rearranged the song and played the lead for free. He put a half. I also didn't realize that Eddie played a song on did a Sabbath song.
What song?
Eddie Van Halen. Hold on. Eddie, I had this written down somewhere. Black Sabbath. We're all over the page tonight, Jeff. We played just about every Black Sabbath song. Oh, so Eddie Van Halen co-wrote a Black Sabbath song. Evil Eye.
What album is that even from?
I don't know. I think it's an album with Tony Martin. Sabbath was still working on what become 1984's Cross Purposes. Their 17th overall with fourth singer Tony Martin. During this time, Van Halen was on tour playing in Birmingham, England. So Eddie wrote or co-wrote Evil Eye, a song I don't think I've ever heard.
No.
Yep. And that was on Cross Purposes. You know the album?
I don't have it. I'm going to look it up and see if
Would you like me to play Evil Eye for you, Jeff?
Sure, why not?
Hold on a second, guys. I will bring up YouTube. I'll probably get in trouble for this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Evil. I don't know if he played on it, but he co-wrote it. Song. Okay. And Black Sabbath, Evil Eye.
Something about the way that you look on me. You watch every move, every word, every fantasy. Got no time for love, something on your mind. Got the face of an angel, but the stare from a devil inside.
I like it. I actually like that song.
I'm wondering if that's a real Sabbath song. I can't even find that album.
I'm on YouTube. It's got Black Sabbath. The album's called Cross Purposes, and it says Black Sabbath, Evil Eye.
That doesn't mean anything. Just because it says Black Sabbath on.
It says from the album Cross Purposes, released in 1984, written by Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Tony Martin. The band is Iommi, Martin, Geezer Butler, Jeff Nichols on keyboard, and Bobby Rondinelli on drums.
Well, one, it's not coming up on iTunes.
Okay.
That album. Okay. I don't know if it was released on album through iTunes. Evidently not.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not a huge Sabbath guy. I actually like that. That was actually a good song.
That sounds like Eddie Van Halen playing it.
Well, now I'm reading some of the comments, and it sounds like Eddie actually played on, did play. He said Tony tried to play that solo on the recording. It seems like Eddie played the solo. Just read that Iommi said Eddie Van Halen wrote the solo in the recording studio and played it for them. Tony said he tried to play the solo on the recording as best he could. So I don't know if that's who recorded it, but Eddie wrote it, and Tony tried to mimic it, couldn't do it, which I understand. It's different styles, but I gotta tell you, for a Sabbath song, I'm not a huge Sabbath guy, but that was pretty good. I like it.
That's a Van Halen riff right from the beginning. Play the beginning again and listen to it, and tell me you can't listen to, you don't hear Van Halen playing that riff.
Hold on.
Yeah, that guitar scream, that's Van Halen.
See, the guitar is Van Halen. I don't hear Iommi in that.
Not at
But
all.
yeah, but I like it, and I think it's a good mix. I've read that another place. That's how I knew it. I was doing some research once, and I stumbled
And
on the
if you
fact.
remember, we had the guy, what was his name? Shit. Jimmy something. Man. He said that he did a song on
Jimmy Bell. Jimmy Bell.
Jimmy Bell did a song on Dehumanizer.
You want to look that up?
That. Well, I remember
Yes.
him telling us that, but they didn't give him writing credit. for the
Correct.
song.
Yes. Correct.
And it was the only Black Sabbath song that somebody else co-wrote.
Again, not according to this. I don't know if Eddie got. I don't know if Eddie got props or not. Let me look that up for you. Hold on a second. Did Eddie get props?
Well, it's hard to deny that he wrote that. You listen to that, man. That is Van Halen.
Let me say
You
if
know,
I can
and
find it.
that guitar scream as soon as that solo comes in sounds just like him.
Black Sabbath Wikipedia. Hold on, let me find that. It's Paranoid. It's way later. Gillen. Where's Tony Martin? Okay, Tony Martin. Hold on. IRS Records. Gorbachev. Actually, on the Headless Cross album, Queen guitarist Brian May played a guest solo on the song "When Death Calls." I still don't see the Evil Eye one. Sorry, guys. I know where I'm kind of being quiet for a second. I'm just trying to find out. Okay, here we go. Okay. It says right here, in Wikipedia, album just missed the top 40 and also reached in the cross purpose contained the song Evil Eye, which was co-written by Van Halen guitarist Eddie Van Halen, although uncredited because of record label restrictions. So because of some restrictions, Eddie didn't get a writing credit.
And what is the album that Brian May got a credit on?
That was, go back to the first Tony Martin. I believe that's Headless Cross. Let's see.
So that Tony Martin stuff I don't have. It's not coming up on Amazon.
Yeah, Black Sabbath released Headless Cross in 1989.
It's not coming up on Amazon or iTunes.
Okay, yeah, that's the name of the album. Is Headless Cross. It was the
Yeah, I know that.
And gave the album 4 stars and called it the finest non-Ozzy or Dio Black Sabbath album. Anchored by the number 62 charting single Headless Cross. The song reached number 31. You want to hear Headless Cross?
Okay, go ahead. Put on whatever you want.
Let's see. Let's go back to that. That's the name of the song, right? Headless Cross. Oh, When Death Calls. We gotta look up that's what. Okay, When Death Calls. And Death Calls song. Black Sabbath. Okay. Okay, this is let's do the studio version.
See this pattern? This pattern will allow you to play great guitar solos every single.
Sorry. I'll move it along a little bit.
Spirit of man cannot be This is the art of dying.
Now this sounds like Black Sabbath.
That sounds like Black Sabbath to you?
It does, yes. Don't listen to singing. Listen to the music. Sounds like Black Sabbath.
The spirit of man can't be free. There's no tomorrow. Oh, just an evil shadow.
This is a 7-minute song. I gotta find the solo. I agree, Frank. It's not the singer, but hold on. Let me see if I can find the solo. So again, according to this, this is Brian May.
Well, one, I know that for whatever reason, there was some of this Black Sabbath stuff was never released. There's also another album called Sire or something like CRY or CYR. There was a couple different albums that were released with Tony Martin, I believe, but they were also known as Iommi solo albums because they weren't exactly like within the mold of Sabbath, and that he owed the record company some albums as Black Sabbath. So these were albums that were supposedly that he wanted to release on his own, and that he ended up putting out under the name Black Sabbath at the time, because there was a lot of different people that were in and out of Sabbath. There was, like, you got Dan Spitz's brother, Dave Spitz, was on bass for a while. And if you look at the who's who that was in Sabbath, that was another Spinal Tap-ish type band for a while.
Yeah.
They were just recycling people left and right.
Yeah. I agree with you, Frankie. I'm not a big fan of this one. I was more intrigued. Listen, I mean, it seems odd a band of Black Sabbath would be bringing in a bunch of people playing solos and doing stuff on their albums, but maybe Jeff's right. Maybe this isn't necessarily a Black Sabbath album.
Iommi and Brian May are very good friends.
Yes, that's exactly what it says. You're absolutely right.
So, I could see them working together. It's just that other song that you played. I mean, I don't doubt it because I can't get the album anyplace. But I mean, was always under the impression that nobody else ever got a writing credit on a Black Sabbath album after talking to Jimmy Bell, if you remember.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously Eddie didn't, but and I don't know if
but that was definitely Eddie Van Halen playing.
Again, it did say Eddie played on the album. It just wasn't credited as a writer of the songs because of some sort of legal restriction. But I liked Evil Eye. I think that was a great tune. I would actually go out and get that song. So I would definitely get that. So
I'm gonna check these out.
Yeah, I think you should. I think there's some stuff you might be missing.
I know that a lot of people in the Sabbath groups on Facebook are definitely into the Tony Martin era of Sabbath. I just never heard it and never dealt with it before, so I don't know much about it. But a lot of people were definitely into it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that I'm not the biggest Sabbath guy in the world. I like some stuff, but I that's something I would listen to. Evil Eye was a good tune, and and interesting. That again, lots of weird stuff out there. What did I want to go to? I want to talk a little more music right now. Again, guys, don't forget Hard Rocket Sports. That's Chef. I'm Tom. We're every Thursday night, 7 o'clock, till we run out of things to talk about. Also, remember, I don't want to bring it up too much, but for at least a short run, Joe Gansas and I will be doing a Sunday morning baseball show, an hour and change every Sunday morning, and right through to the World Series, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But Sunday mornings, we're going to talk a lot of baseball. It'll be all baseball. This Sunday morning, Tommy John joins us for our inaugural show. So make sure you tune in right here to the Diamond Talk show, starring Joe Gansas as the lead guy. I will just be accompanying him. But just wanted to get that out there. Like I said, it just came about this week. So we'll about 2 weeks ago. So make sure you check out Diamond Talk on Sunday mornings, 8 o'clock. For the time being, see how it goes, see how it plays. If you like your baseball, tune in. And this Sunday morning again, you'll catch Tommy John joining Joe and I. In the meantime, we got some stuff to get to here. We'll talk a little more football. Kiss stuff. I don't know. I don't know if I have any Kiss stuff on my thing. By the way, did you know that Nico McBrain back in January had a stroke?
Yes, I heard.
I did not know that. I read it this week on Blabbermouth. I'm curious if he had a debilitating. I know he had one of those strokes where if you get the medicine in him quick enough, and my mother-in-law, God rest her soul, she had that happen, and she had basically a full recovery. He says he's about 70%. I'm curious though, if Nico had gotten wiped out by it, died, just incapacitated, do you think Maiden would have continued without him?
I don't know. Who else would they have gotten?
Yeah, I don't listen. There's so many people out there at this point in time. Who knows? But I'm curious. I'm curious if they would have basically brought somebody else, a new member. Then they're very loyal guys, and a lot of them have said that if Yannick Gears leaves or if Adrian Smith wasn't brought back in, the band would never have continued. I'm curious to see if Harris would have brought in yet another drummer. Think about it. Nico, while not the original drummer, has been there, close to 40 years.
He's been there over 40 years, or just about 40 years.
I was going to say, it's got to be close. I mean, when did Peace of Mind come out?
83?
Yeah, so 83, 84, so it's close to 40 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time I saw Maiden was Nico behind the kit. I never got to see Clive live.
No, you never did?
No, he
Neither
was
did
gone. Yeah, I saw Maiden, a bunch of times, but Peace of Mind was the first tour I got to go see. Peace of Mind, Maiden and Quiet Riot at the Garden. And then the next year I saw Maiden and Queensryche at Radio City, Power Slaves. That's when bands were cranking out an album every year.
Yeah, shit, good old days.
Speaking of which, did you see? I don't know if anybody went to Metallica. I know a lot of people online went. I would never pay to see Metallica at this point in time, but they're still a big draw. They're playing stadiums. If I read it right, Overkill was playing in the parking lot.
Yes.
What was that all about?
I don't know. I guess they were asked to play or whatever. New Jersey band, big boost in the arm for Overkill, but yeah, playing out in the parking lot.
But think about it, Jeff. If you're going to the show, are you staying out in the parking lot to hear Overkill? And then I guess you're going in to see now. Were they the only two bands? Was there another band playing inside, warming up just before?
Well, I think Pantera played both nights over there. I'm not sure, but Overkill was a free fucking show.
Yeah,
fans. I don't know if they got paid, but it was like
I'm sure they got paid. Nobody does anything for free at this point. That's the only way you can make any money at this point. It's not like you can go there, promote your album, and people are going to go buy 400,000 copies.
No, but you know what? They did have a new album just came out. So for them, it worked out rather well. Tom, I got to...
you got to go...
man.
Yeah, and the fact that Jeff called them Pantera scares me a little bit. Just the fact they acknowledged that they existed. Yeah, I just find it odd. I mean, I can understand having a lesser known band, especially in New Jersey, playing in the parking lot. But to have Overkill, again, I'm not the biggest Overkill guy. I think Overkill stopped being Overkill when Bobby Gustafson left. I've got some of their albums recent. That's not bad, but why, if you're Overkill, why would you want to play in the parking lot and have the fake Pantera band playing inside? I mean, again, maybe they're bigger name Pantera because of Zach and Benanti and the crowd. Rex Brown's still there, I guess, and what's his name, Phil Anselmo. But I don't get the thought process. So you basically said, hey, Overkill, you're one step from a cover band, a local cover band. We'll throw you out in the parking lot and people can drive in and listen to you for free. I don't understand that one. If you're Overkill, what are you thinking about? I'm not sure. That's a tough one for me. And I don't know why you'd want that. If you're I mean, what are you saying? All right, well, you're outside partying, hang out. We're gonna have a band play for you. I strange. And then have Pantera inside opening up. Interesting. I wouldn't go. I'm not. I love early Metallica. I just find them to be now pompous asses, especially Lars. I'm going to stay consistent. I think they're a bunch of pompous asses who haven't put out anything great in a very long time. Now, I can say the same thing about Maiden. I love Maiden. It's been a long time since they put anything great out there. So I would be remiss if I didn't admit to that. I love Final Frontier. I love a bunch of the, I don't like Senjutsu. Book of Souls was okay. Speed of Light was a good tune. So it's been a long time since Maiden put out a great album. So I'm definitely, not being truthful when I say that. But, Metallica, it's a ton of Hardwire was decent. Short of that, I haven't heard anything good from them guys in a long time. But listen, they're still packing the place. I am in the minority, and I get it. Adam, I agree. If you're overkill, you can't play, especially in New Jersey. It's your home state. You can't be in the parking lot playing. You can't. It's. Yeah, Frankie, I agree with you. I think there's very few bands putting out anything good or anything great. It's been a long time since I heard anything that I would stop in my tracks for. But to Adam's point, Jeff, if you're overkill, you can't accept playing in the parking lot in New Jersey.
Why not?
You can't.
Give me one. You're not giving me a solid reason. All you're saying is you can't. Tell me why they can't do that.
It's demoralizing.
No, it's not.
Overkill.
It's not.
You're basically saying.
You know where Overkill plays?
Where, Jeff?
Overkill plays smaller venues and large theaters and stuff like that. This is a huge show for Overkill. They played in the parking lot, yes, but they played in the parking lot in front of 80,000 people that went into that stadium could have seen them play. They just released an album, which was exposure for them. That's a huge show for Overkill, because if not, they would be playing like the State Theater and shit like that. They don't go on huge tours. They don't play big places. They don't play the Garden. They don't play places like that. They play Starland Ballroom. I don't even think they play the Beacon Theater. So this was a believe it or not, a step up in the right direction for them.
I again, maybe you're right. I won't argue it, but I would say, to me, it's like, well, you guys are okay, but you can't come in and play in the stadium. So you stay outside and play. To me, that's demoralizing. I'm sorry. I think that's a kick in the balls. Not
at all. Not at all. Because now they're on a Metallica tour, and they played one of the stops. And I saw that somebody wrote, I think Pantera played 2 nights. I'm not sure about that.
Frankie said it's 1 night.
Well,
I have no idea.
Be wrong too, because I know that they played. Richie Holmes went both nights to that, and he sent me a video from 1 night. I don't know. I know that, but I'm going to try to look that up now.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you on this one, Jeff. I'm sorry. I know what you're saying. I get the fact that they play in front of 5,000 people on a regular basis. You're still overkill. You were one of the bands that started this whole thing out. Some people like to say that they were the originators of it all. Bobby Gustafson was the godfather of thrash. I have no idea. All I say is this.
Right. Pantera and Mammoth played on night 1. And then
Five Finger Death Punch.
5 Finger Dick Punch and Feline Kills. Is that it? Ice Nine Kills. I never even heard of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with Tony Gunn here, and I'm disagreeing with Jeff on this one. If you're overkill, you can't play in the parking lot in New Jersey. You just can't. It's demoralizing.
It's not, bro. That's like the Hard Rock and Sports Band being asked to play the parking lot at Madison Square Garden when Metallica plays. I mean, I know it's 2 different things.
Come on. No way. I'm sorry. Jeff, honestly, you know what? If 25 Missions got offered to play that show, that's huge.
It's huge for Overkill, bro.
No, it's to me. I'm not even an Overkill fan, but that to me is a
Tom,
kick in the nuts.
Tom, Overkill does not sell a lot of records. Overkill does not play massive tours. Overkill does not do the stuff that Metallica, Pantera, or some of these other bands do. They jumped on that because it was huge. They're not just going to do it because they're all off in New Jersey that day. You know, this is a big thing for them. They played in front of a lot of different people. There's bands that are big in the thrash world, Exodus, Overkill, Testament, that'll never play shows inside a giant stadium. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So they're going to take advantage of it, especially a band like Overkill in their home state. And you know what I mean? This is something they had to do.
I get it. I understand it. I'm sure that they're going to come out and say, that it was great. I understand it. For me, I will take it as an insult. That's the way I look at it. I'm on the minority on this one, probably.
Oh, definitely, not a doubt.
Yeah, I'm on the minority. I get it, no problem. But to me, if you're Overkill, you've been doing this for 40 years. The fact that you were told, go out in the parking lot, and as people are coming in the door, why don't they just put the hat out and people could throw money in the hat for them?
About what you just said. You've been doing it for 40 years.
Yeah.
And you're not inside. You're at least playing outside. And when I went to go see Ozfest years ago, there were 2 stages. There was the first stage, second stage, stage A, stage B, whatever they called it. And a lot of the lesser known bands played the first stage. And then the festival or the show started on the second stage later on in the day with Black Label Society and all of the other bigger bands playing the bigger show leading up to Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden headlining the show. So, I mean, listen, somebody had to open it up. So they let them play out in the parking lot.
Open it up, yes. I get it. Go out there, play 5 songs on the main stage. You're in the parking lot. Why don't you just tell them when you're done playing, stand at the door, take tickets?
They play on a stage, right? They weren't like standing out in the parking lot.
I don't know. I have no idea what they were playing on, but you're in the parking lot.
They played. It was a full staged show.
I got it. I get it.
It was set out up in the parking lot. And
I'm with Adam on this one. If you find a local band, you find somebody doing, I'm with you. You're Overkill. You got to go, guys. Let me play in the stadium. I got to play inside. What happens if after I say, oh, you guys played great? You want to come in? I'm sorry, you got to buy a ticket. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous.
It's not.
It's ridiculous.
It's not. You don't know. You don't understand. You don't know. We'll just leave it at that.
All right. Well, I'll leave. We'll drop it right there. Chief Wahoo disagrees with you.
Well, fuck Chief Wahoo. That's why he's not in existence anymore.
Chief Wahoo.
Okay.
This is the torture.
I'm telling you, believe me when I tell you, for Overkill, that was a huge moment in their history.
All right. I'm gonna have to take your word for it, Jeff, because I disagree. Again, more people watch them outside than if they play. Frankie, I don't know. I've gone to most concerts I go to. I try to get there. When we went to see Kiss, Jeff and I, they didn't even have a band playing from. They had to get an artist, which I thought was great because the guy was in and out in a half hour. So I went to see Maiden the last time. They had Ghost open for them. We didn't even go in until Ghost was over. When I went to see Maiden the time before that, they had Alice Cooper. I went to see Alice Cooper play. Maiden one time before that, they had Raven's Edge, which wasn't a bad band. But I gotta tell you, again, my last word on this is, if I'm Blitz and the boys, and I've been a mainstay of the thrash world for 40 years, pioneers, if somebody said, hey, we want you to play that show, but you got to stay outside the parking lot while the real band's playing inside, I'd be pissed off. I might do it, but I'd be pissed off about it. So anyway, that's just my thought.
We'll move on. They have the attendance for them.
For the outside? How could you have attendance? It's free. You parked your car, and then you walked over there, you dropped a couple bucks in the hat, and then you went inside and watched the real bands. I heard that after the show was done, They came out and Blitz was parking cars.
Oh,
They actually parked the cars, and the guitar players they were in catering.
okay.
Sam Bone, welcome up, Sam.
That's a big show for them, man. I'm telling you.
All right, like I said, I'm with you. I just don't agree. I think I won't disagree. Hold on. Let me say that again. I don't disagree. It's a big show because yes, they're gonna
Okay,
get
here,
more.
right off the bat, 80,000 people were at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah,
That means
80,000 people
that-
walked through the parking lot. Didn't necessarily
Doesn't
stop. and
matter.
show
Still,
themselves.
80,000 people saw them. So and half the people, more than half the people there, had to know who they were.
No, because if you parked on the other side of the stadium, you probably never saw them play. Yeah, Tony, I'm telling you. After it was over, the guitar players put the dread jackets on and they were parking the VIP cars. And Blitz was doing catering.
It's just
It's
being
ridiculous.
silly now. That this is. I've been an Overkill fan since 1983. Believe me when I tell you, that show, you don't think it's so, but it was huge for them. It was absolutely massive because they don't play anyplace else. They don't play stadiums like that. They go to stadiums, they buy tickets to go see shows. They don't play shows like that, bro.
Oh,
They're still playing small spots. If Lamore's was open, they'd still be playing fucking Lamore's every other fucking weekend.
Do you want to see? I actually have the Blabbermouth video of.
That's what I was
Overkill
just looking at,
playing.
Blabbermouth. I just saw that. I just saw that.
Blitz has got the catering jacket on.
No, that's just plain old outright silly.
Let's see. It's ridiculous. They played out. You know what it's like? It's like here's what it's like. Metallica and Pantera playing the Garden, and Overkill was pissed off, so they brought their stuff, set up outside, and they played outside the Garden because they weren't allowed inside. It's the same thing. You put the band inside, please. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's
Okay.
embarrassing.
Okay.
Jeff, that's like that's.
Oh,
like,
no.
wait,
Okay. 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 Okay.
You agree with me now?
Okay. 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 Calm down. Okay. You're totally fucking wrong, but okay.
No.
Okay. No. Okay. Okay. Here, look here. I see the light. Okay.
You see the light now?
You're totally wrong, but okay. It's okay.
It's
okay.
embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
I mean, it's
okay.
The picture. I think they're across the street from the stadium.
Listen, it's okay.
Oh my God, it's
I've been a
embarrassing.
fan. I'm not going to say I've been a fan of that band for the whole time because that would be lying. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. But I've been following them and I have all of their stuff. And I know where they play. And believe me, they don't play anywhere close to that. So that was a big show for them. They got in there, free publicity with their album just coming out. And tell me a band that wasn't playing inside that would have turned down a chance to play outside at a show like that. And I don't think you'd come up with very many.
I'm not saying that they want to turn it down. They should have turned it down. I'm saying it's embarrassing that you weren't good enough to play inside. Wait, they put fake Pantera inside the stadium and put real Overkill outside the stadium.
Although I will agree with you that fake Pantera went inside the stadium, there's a lot of people that are on board with that. Why, I don't know. And listen, it is what it is. Because you know why? Fake Pantera is making just as much, if not more money than the real Metallica right now at this point in time by being on that tour. So don't let that fool you. Believe me.
Yeah.
Okay? Because a lot of people are looking to see just what that's all about. Although they look like they've had it. Phil and Rex. I saw a picture of Rex. Phil standing barefoot, and Rex Brown is standing there in his Ugg slippers. It was embarrassing. Embarrassing.
Yeah, do you think they are too good to play inside at 6 p.m.? So you think Overkill was too good to play inside the stadium, Frankie, at 6, but they're not too good to play. They're not too good to play outside the stadium.
I think he means Pantera.
Man, all right, okay. And what if it was Spinal Tap? Now, listen. If first off it was Spinal Tap, Jeff and I would have been there. Second of all, Spinal Tap movie comes out next April. We're all going. I'm bringing all you guys.
I'll
Third,
be there for that one. Don't worry about it.
third, if Spinal Tap was playing, they'd be playing in the stadium. Spinal Tap is huge. We can't ever put Spinal Tap in with Overkill or the fake Pantera.
No, dude, how could you say that they're too good to play inside at 6 p.m.? Nah.
Frank, I
because
disagree.
one of these bigger festivals where there's 5 or 6 bands, somebody's going on first.
Yeah.
And Overkill certainly ain't going to be headlining over Pantera or Metallica. That ain't going to happen.
Now, I could listen. If you'd have told me at 6 o'clock they were opening the doors, they were letting people in early, and they put Overkill on the stage and opened up at 5:30 or 6, I get it. That I understand. I don't know if a fake Pantera should have went up first, whatever. But Overkill being inside Giant Stadium, I'm going to call it Giant Stadium, to me is fine. You should have put them inside the stadium, let people in the stadium, and let them play. To put them in the parking lot is it's demoralizing. Jeff, I get what you're saying. I can't feel any differently. I'll leave it alone at that. But to me, open the doors, let them play 7 songs, and then bring out fake Pantera and then Metallica, and I think it's all good.
I know somebody who was there, and they said they only recognized 2 or 3 songs, but they played like a full show.
Really?
Yeah. They didn't play like a half hour. Let me see. I can see if I can find the text.
Was it old stuff or more the newer stuff?
No, they said they only recognized about 2 or 3 songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I was curious if they're playing it. And do they reach back into the archives and play the Gustafson stuff?
No. Well, I don't know about that. No, I can't find it.
Okay.
I can't find it.
Hold on one second. Play a little something for Tony Gunn here.
What's that?
Play a little something for Tony Gunn right here. I just scrolled on Facebook and saw this picture. This is supposedly the last Eddie Van Halen photo.
He looks like a middle-aged Chinese restaurant owner.
I don't know how they know.
Yeah, he don't look sick there. He just looks like an old man.
Yeah. The hair's a little thin up there, Jeff. The hair's a little thin.
But he was also, 65 years old when he died?
I would say that definitely is in his mid-60s, I would guess. Genius. A genius, Jeff. No less a genius. Left us way too soon. Too much to offer.
Oh, man.
You all right?
No.
All right, why don't we end it right here? Let you go.
Tonight is pretty brutal.
That's all right. We had a great show. We talked a lot of music. Go ahead. Go. I'll end the show.
No, if you're going to end it now, I'll hang in there another couple minutes. It's just,
all right, guys.
What's going on? I had Chinese food. It's killing me.
We're going to wrap it up right here. Guys, thank you very much. We had some fun with this one. A lot of music stuff tonight. We got a little football in. We got some other stuff in. But I really appreciate you guys hanging with me and Jeff. It's going to get better and better every week. That's the first night in the new studio, so I got to work on the backdrop. But we did bring in Chief Wahoo. Guys, we do want you to put out there, send pictures of you guys wearing your non-woke stuff. If you got anything non-woke, send it. Yeah, and we'll be back next Thursday night. We'll do this all over again. Jeff, anything? I know September 2nd, we got the big show in Staten Island with 25 missions.
Yeah, and then we have a few dates lined up, not 25 missions, something that cannot be revealed as of yet.
Oh my God! I still have that told me.
Yeah, because it has not been revealed as of yet.
Do I know the people in this band?
You might.
Jesus Christ! I'm
in due time.
What's due time?
In due time.
Why can't you announce it? I mean, what's the difference?
Because it's August 10th.
Holy cow! It's better be good because I gotta tell you.
Listen, if you're paying attention, there might have been clues that were released already. and they just went right over your head and you missed it.
What,
Not on
are,
this
you, are you joining Overkill?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
I mean, unless sacrifice is reunion is coming, I don't know anything happening, Jeff. So
I cannot.
you're not confirming or denying that one.
He's involved. I cannot divulge anything else other than December 30th, November 25th, I believe. Let me double check that November date, I believe, or maybe November 23rd. November 25th and December 30th.
All right, let me ask you this then.
That's it.
When can you divulge the name of the band and the people in your band?
When the time is right.
Oh boy.
See this?
I hope you shit your pants between here and the bathroom.
Oh,
I hope it's just a
gotta
chocolate. I hope it's a chocolate stream in the next 1 minute.
Oh, listen, that would be welcome at this point in time. Okay.
Oh boy. All right, guys. On that note, we're gonna call it a night. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks to my dad and all you guys for hanging with us. It's a pleasure doing this when we got everybody hanging with us and talk with us. We'll be back next Thursday night. Jeff and I, we do this all over again.
And I'm not eating Chinese food next time.
And Jeff won't be eating Chinese food. And we're still going to be talking about overkill in the parking lot. And I'm right. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy the rest of your night, the rest of your week, and your weekend. Should be nice weather. Got a lot of football this weekend. Not much great baseball, but a lot of good. We'll have some football kicking off. So make sure you do watch all of that and have a great rest of the next week. And we'll see you back here on the Hot Rocket Sports Show next Thursday night at 7 o'clock. So for Jeff Towinski, myself, and all of you great guys, have a great night. We'll see you next week. Hefe, go take care of your business.
Later, man.
Yeah,
I'm going to go have a blast now, Adam.
Later.